Okay, so I have now in here my chair that I've copied and pasted in here, and it's got the mask around it. And when I placed it in here, I put it off the page. And I want to show you something to pay attention to. If I go and use the rectangle marquee and I select over this object and then go to the crosshairs to, sorry, I'm not on the right layer. Go to move it, notice that it cropped off the page. Also, it's not moving the, the mask, okay? So that's not what I want to do. I'm going to unselect that. I want to use the move tool, and I'm going to click on that, and I can move this back so I haven't lost that image. So you want to make sure that you're not using that marquee and cutting things off the page. Okay, so now what I want to do is do Command T so that I can go and transform this image by flipping it horizontally. And the next thing I'm going to do is I want to get it in the space the right size. I want it to have some presence in the room. And if I make it big, it feels like it's filling in the space. So maybe what I do is I pull it back. Let me shrink it down a little. And I really love the lines of this chair, and I'd hate to crop that out. I wish I had made my molding smaller because it's changing the scale of the room. So if my molding was smaller, this wall could actually be a lot larger. Maybe I should have just left the molding off. And another thing I could do too is I'm not giving you a set page size, so I could go and add more canvas over in this direction. But for now, I'm just going to crop this off over here. The other thing I want you to do is put a person in here. So I have, and after you click that, you hit the arrow. So I have gone through Getty and I found this guy here. Part of the reason why I liked him is because he's got nice smooth hair. You don't want to have to spend a lot of time with hair at this point. You're still learning, and I don't want you to spend hours going in around somebody's hair with a lot of curls. So choose that judiciously. So here is my fellow. I've put him in this space. And now that I have him and this chair in the space, I'm thinking, you know what? I want this wallpaper to be a little bolder. I want to make the scale of that different. So you know how I was saying that I use the this tool to go and Command T and make this larger. Well, that doesn't work with my mask, okay? I'm selected on the part with the wallpaper, but it doesn't work that way in this situation. I know this will be a little bit confusing. I'm going to hit that and do Command Z so I can go back to where I was. In this case, I do use the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to make sure I grab a big section, and then I am going to move it so you can see me moving it within there because I'd already cropped it a bit, if you remember the first video. So now I'm going to hit Command T, and I am going to stretch it. So you see I'm making the scale of it bigger in this space. Okay. I guess that's okay. So now the next thing you will do is you'll add some flooring. You might add something to all the walls, maybe hang a picture on the wall. You get to pick what you want in this room, and I've set the criteria of what I'm asking for in the written description, how many pieces of thing you're adding, using masks, different things like that. And I am going to go and add some color in the ceiling. And so one of the things you may choose is to do something quite rough. Just like when I add shadows, I like to add a different layer. I could paste this right in this base layer here, but I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to paste it in this layer. So I can look at doing something where I just do a hint of color and just make it sort of not sloppy, but you know, brisk looking. I could try that, or maybe I try making it really filling in the space really clearly, so it's a really solid area. And I could potentially do that too by using the lasso tool to fill it in. I could be using a mask. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. I do want you to use a mask in at least one, and then it's a foreground color that I'm using there, in one of your areas. So for this, I probably should use the mask because I might decide I want it to be a different color or a different texture. So at any rate, I'm just doing this quickly to show you the different things that you can put in the room. Okay, and then you can also go and retouch your illustration. If I decided, oh, this baseboard isn't working for me, I could go in and totally delete that baseboard as well. Okay, I'm noticing my wallpaper is showing up here, so that's a problem with my mask. So I was clicked on the wallpaper. I'm clicking now on the mask, and I'm going to take my paintbrush, and I've got the black fill on top. Sorry, I'm going to turn that off, and it made me jump. So sorry about that. So remember, it's the black is actually what doesn't show up, and the white is what does. Okay, so I think we're good for now. Enjoy. Take care.